Tell me you don't wanna say goodnight, honey, I don't wanna dream all alone. A stranger come to town, he's traveling light. He's searching for some comfort, some delight. He will stop but never stay, he can make it through the day, but it's hard to be a stranger in the night. At every town he stops upon his way, he searches for a late-night cabaret. In a smoky room it seems he can drink and dream his dreams of a woman who will come to him and smile and say, dance with me, won't you hold me tight, kiss me and say that the time is right. Tell me you don't wanna say goodnight, honey, I don't wanna dream all alone. Every town he stops upon his way, he searches for a late-night cabaret. In a smoky room it seems he can drink and dream his dreams of a woman who will come to him someday. The woman who will come to him and smile and say, dance with me, won't you hold me tight, kiss me and say that the time is right. Tell me you don't wanna say goodnight, honey, I don't wanna dream all alone. Dance with me, won't you hold me tight, kiss me and say that the time is right. Tell me you don't wanna say goodnight, honey, I don't wanna dream all alone. Dance with me, won't you hold me tight, the time is right. Tell me you don't wanna say goodnight, honey, I don't wanna dream all alone.
Now my gal Ann, she's a fine-looking woman. Oh, she gets around, but she don't raise no sand. A high gold seeker, a feminine mystique, but she still gets around to pleasing her man. Most guys on the southeast Alaska coast, when they talk about the women, are likely to boast, but no one can hold a candle to my Ann. I'll tell you why. 'Cause when I'm out on the boat for a couple of days with my crab pot, my rifle, and my halibut skate, and I come home tuckered out and dirty, she kisses me and hugs me 'cause she just can't wait to cut my venison backstrap into thick slabs. She'll clean my snapper and boil my crabs. She's my sweet lovin' and my Alexander Archipelago babe. Now my gal Ann, she's a fine-looking woman. Oh, she gets around, but she don't raise no sand. A high gold seeker, a feminine mystiquer, but she still gets around to pleasing her man. Most guys on the southeast Alaska coast, when they talk about the women, are likely to boast, but no one can hold a candle to my Ann, and I'll tell you why. 'Cause when I'm out on the boat for a couple of days with my crab pot, my rifle, and my halibut skate, and I come home tuckered out and dirty, she kisses me and hugs me 'cause she just can't wait. She got my venison backstrap into thick slabs. She'll clean my snapper and boil my crabs. She's my sweet lovin' and my Alexander Archipelago. Sweet lovin' and my Alexander Archipelago. Sweet lovin' and my Alexander Archipelago, baby. She's my sweet lovin' and my Alexander Archipelago, babe.
Cut the tall trees and the spruce along the hills. Cut them with a chainsaw and drag them to the mill. They hold this earth together, those giants in the ground. Don't you know the land is dying when they cut the big trees down? And they'll never take those trees away from me. No, they'll never take those trees away. No, they'll never take those trees away from me. No, they'll never take those trees away. Green and living is turning black and brown. These hills are torn and bleeding 'cause they've cut the big trees down. This forest is my freedom, the place I've always known. We've got to stand and fight together. We've got to save our forest home. And they'll never take those trees away from me. No, they'll never take those trees away. No, they'll never take those trees away from me. No, they'll never take those trees away. take those trees away from me. No, they'll never take those trees away.
man, this is our America's Cup. This is Juneau's America's Cup. And we're, I'm never going to race on a 12-meter boat, but we've got the thrill every bit. We're pounding, we're having spray going on the full length of the boat here. We're leaping from one wave to another, just like they were doing down in Australia. This is it. It doesn't matter what size the boat is. It's the thrill. Okay, trim in the main. Trim it all the way in this time. We're going for blood. This is it. Okay, there's the red flag. Okay, we need trimmers. We need tailors.
Each spring, sailors gather for Southeast Alaska's longest sailing race, the 200-mile Spirit of Adventure Around Admiralty Island Sailboat Race. The race, usually attracting about a dozen boats, is run in two 100-mile legs. It begins at Mayflower Island, continues down Gastineau Channel to Stevens Passage, along the east side of Admiralty to Yasha Island, and across Chatham Strait to the halfway point at Warm Springs Bay. The second leg heads up Chatham Strait past Angoon to Point Retreat and the finish line off Shelter Island. But lots of water must pass under the keel before these boats reach that finish line.
Normally people wouldn't sail in the type of winds we had yesterday, for instance. They would have gone into Taku Harbor once they got past Grand Island and stopped. But the boats kept going, and you learn that you and the boat can do things that you didn't think you could.
Boats race into and through the night, with one crew resting while the other sails. Crew fatigue builds up as dawn arrives, but they keep pushing the boats hard. The Around Admiralty race began in 1984 as part of Alaska's Silver Anniversary celebration. It's sponsored by the Juneau Sailing Club.
Well, it's one of the few sports, at least that I've participated in, where you've got brute strength going for you. You need that. You also need a pretty smart intelligence and making right decisions tactically. You know, if you can be going as fast as you can have the fastest, strongest crew, but if you're taking a long way around, you're never going to win. So there's a lot of cerebral activity to it. And that combination of the mental contest and the physical contest, both together, is a real challenge.
The challenge comes in a variety of forms, and not all of them are the ability to sail a boat fast.
Everyone's had 2, 3, maybe 4 hours sleep since we left Juneau, and I don't think anyone's had more than that. And we've all rested for maybe 6 or 7 hours, but not much sleep.
Is this still fun?
You bet. We're ready to do the next leg now.
Well, you tell me that nobody's eating, nobody's sleeping, and everybody's on the verge of seasickness, but it's also fun. Where does the fun fit in that?
We're an hour ahead of the last boat, and we see a big silver trophy at the end.
Finally, after more than 16 hours of non-stop sailing, Eagle is the first boat to cross the halfway layover spot at Warm Springs Bay. But because of the handicapping system, the first boat in isn't necessarily in first place. Just getting to this dock has been tough for all the racers. As more boats arrive at the dock, crews finally get a chance to relax and hash over the first leg of the race.
Just before Brothers, I starboard tacked him. Starboard tacked, he had a sandwich in his mouth.
Trying to eat
I got my sandwich here! Broke out the bottle rockets.
All right, have some, yeah.
Finally, the party ends and the business at hand returns. Boats sail into position for the start of the second leg. 100 miles straight up Chatham Strait to Point Retreat and the finish line near Shelter Island.
Admiralty Island's a national monument. You know, there's icebergs, there's bears. It's an exciting place to sail around, and it's a long race, and there's a lot of challenges. You know, sometimes there's lots of wind, and sometimes there's no wind, and you put it all together, and it makes the spirit of adventure, and that's the name of the race.
Another group of Southeasterners also play on the water, but in a different kind of boat and at a different pace. These young people were part of a 4-H group from Gustavus and Juneau who learned about the wilderness by paddling in it.
This is something not everybody gets to do. You know, it's a real special thing. you know, to see the mountains and see seals looking up at you.
Seeing all the seals around our boat and how close they came. Because usually when I go up in the bay, I'm in a motorboat, so they hardly come any close.
But I've seen one thing, and that is if somebody sees an animal like that, the tendency is to go, hey, look, over there, a seal. And by the time everyone else looks, the seal's gone underwater with a big splash. So one idea we can use...
We noticed that every time someone say, like, there's a seal or something, before everyone could look, then it was gone, so we figured out some hand signals, like for bear, you know, for a seal it would be like that, like, and then they would make sounds, and then we tried to imitate them.
Kayaking, you're just sort of like floating on water, and they hardly take any things. They hardly go down anywhere, so you can go over almost by the shore, and they're pretty fun, except for they're tiring.
You got sort of tired after you're pedaling for a while, but I guess that's only because I was a beginner. It's a great learning experience, how to use a kayak. It's fun, though. Really? I've learned quickly.
It's hard to push a big kayak around for a 10-year-old, but I think they'll remember this experience as something that was a little bit hard, but pretty exciting.
Long live the wildlands. Long may you roam. Long live the wild, wild lands, and long live this Rocky Mountain home. Looking out my jail cell, looking at this land. Turned 34 in jail today because I made a stand. I tried to stop the drilling, tried to right that wrong, tried to stop the killing of this land. That's why I sing this song. Well, the judge, he threw the book at me, and all that I could say, hey there, Mr. Judge, just listen to me, 'cause I do it all again right away. Long live the wildlands. Long may you roam. Long live the wild, wild lands, and long live this Rocky Mountain home. Long live these mountains, the lightning and the thunder and the wind. Long live this country, yes, I'll fight for her life once again. Long live the wildlands. Long may you roam. Long live the wild, wild lands, and long live this Rocky Mountain home. Long live the grizzly, the wolf and the coyote in the night. Long live our freedom and the wisdom to stand up for what's right. Long live the wildlands. Long may you roam. Long live the wild, wild lands, and long live this Rocky Mountain home. Long live the wildlands. Long may you roam. Long live the wild, wild lands,
Most southeast towns have a distinguishing feature, whether it's a Russian cathedral, a governor's mansion, a totem pole, or some other item. One of our neighboring towns to the north has a distinguishing feature also, a riverboat. Welcome to Rain Country, and welcome to Whitehorse, Yukon Territory. I'm Scott Foster, and this story actually ends right here, because a few hours ago, more than 500 people started this story 108 miles away in Skagway.
I feel a little calmer than I have in the past because I get to lead off. When you have to wait for the 10th or 9th leg, you get real antsy.
Jeff Hill wasn't the only runner feeling antsy. In varying degrees, it's a feeling shared by the more than 500 runners from Alaska, Canada, and several western states who gather in Skagway each September for the start of the Klondike Trail of 98 Road Relay. Many southeast teams use the ferry to get to Skagway and use the time on board to hold final team meetings.
Cynthia, you're going to be driving with our vehicles. You're not going to be with Buckley then, is that correct?
After team meetings, there's time to relax. One team spent part of their pre-race time playing board games. It's this team aspect that's one of the major attractions of this race.
It's a chance to combine what's usually an individual solitary sport with sort of a team feeling. It's nice. I enjoy it.
It's just being with a lot of other people that have a common interest, share a common interest with me, liking to run.
Well, this is a rather unique event in the North Country, and I run it 3 years in a row, and we keep getting new people on to try it, and it's just a real excellent event.
This excellent event does make some demands on runners. Lack of sleep is one of them, so many runners try to get rest on the ferry. This race begins in the evening, continues throughout the night, and ends the following day around noon.
You're lying down on the ferry here. I assume you don't normally take naps at 1 in the afternoon. How come today?
Because I'm going to be running 2:30 in the morning tomorrow.
Are you going to get any sleep tonight?
I'm going to try, but I don't think so. Every year I try to get some sleep before I run, but I'm usually too hyped up. I can't do it.
The idea for this relay over the highway connecting Skagway and Whitehorse originated in the Yukon capital city.
Well, it started about 5 years ago. People of the Tourism Industry Association of the Yukon, formerly the Yukon Visitors Association, were looking for ways of extending the tourist season in the Yukon and in Whitehorse. And it was just a brainwave. They decided that they'd try a road relay and see if it would go.
And go it did. In recent years, 50 to 60 teams of 10 members apiece have entered. That's a lot of people and requires a lot of organization. And part of that begins just after runners arrive in Skagway, where organizers provide a pre-race spaghetti feed. It's the last full meal most will get until the banquet and dance held in Whitehorse after the race is finished. Team captains also meet with race officials to get final instructions before the start.
And that's the changes this year that we've instituted on last year is we've staggered the start times, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 1 a.m., depending on the speed with which you think you're going to complete the race. And we hope that that is going to work out in lessening the congestion on the hill at the start of the race, and it'll allow the race to spread out more before the faster teams start encountering the slower teams and having to pass.
Yeah, Roger, Bill. Done checkpoint number 1, and first runner is coming in sight. Team from Juneau, team number 29. They're in sight now.
There are 9 similar exchange points spread throughout the 109-mile race. They become concentrated clusters of people. Race officials keep track of times, teams gather to cheer, and the next runners stretch and get ready for their leg of the race. Fires help keep the September chill off during the night part of the race. For the next team member waiting to run, this is the moment of tension and excitement. For the runner just completing the leg, it's a different feeling.
This is how someone feels when they feel really bad. Gosh, let's see. Well, I beat my time by 3 minutes.
How do you feel?
Terrible. Lightheaded and really high. Yeah.
There are 10 different stages or legs in the relay. The shortest is 5.6 miles, but it's all uphill. The longest is 16 miles and is mostly level. Most of the legs are between 9 and 13 miles. The fastest runners complete a mile in about 5.5 minutes. Most of the rest are 2 or 3 minutes a mile slower. While a handful of elite runners make every effort to win one of the 4 different divisions, most teams have a different reason for entering this relay.
We've got a motorhome that comes over the highway, drivers. We had a masseur this year that gave us rub-downs before and after the event. We had champagne, and we really, well, to tell you the truth, we don't like the run so much, but we love the dance, and we have to run first, so we really come for the dance.
If you read running magazines and keep up on running news, you know that relay races are very popular because it's an opportunity for people to get together and run together. And not everyone's competing against each other because you're not competing against the people on your team, you're working with them.
But regardless of the race's team approach, when the run is on, there's only one individual on a team at a time doing all the work, especially on these long hills.
You can almost imagine that you really, tricked yourself that it was flat because it was just nice and long and gradual. But it was tough. I'm not a hot runner, so it was hard for me.
I'll probably run an easy pace and maybe pick it up at the end.
Okay, she's coming.
Here they come.
Okay.
It was great to see him there, but I didn't have quite the burst I thought I would have.
As soon as you cross that finish line, you just...
Oh, it was great. It just was so great. With the water. Oh. Heaven. I'm in heaven.
Good.
Oh.
About the time one team member is experiencing the heavenly feeling of completing their leg, the teammate who took over is staring down a long highway yet to be run. This process of team member handing off to the next continues until there is only the 10th runner from the team on the road into Whitehorse.
1987 winner is just about ready to come through, Jim Shine.
Jim Shine's team, the Taku Striders, missed the course record by 5 minutes, but come in with a total team time of 10 hours, 31 minutes, and 42 seconds. The next fastest team was a full hour behind them, and most teams are 4 or more hours slower. But no one seems to mind because most teams enter the race not to win, but just for the experience and to have a good time. And the good time frequently begins at the hot springs outside of Whitehorse after each team finishes. The post-race banquet brings all the runners and support crews together in one place for the first time and provides a chance for participants to reflect on the just completed Trail of 98 road relay.
It's just fun to see if you can stay up all night and still run a good time and have fun and dance the next night. That's the real challenge. You really see who the real endurance athletes are at the dance.
Eight stars a-roll.